Well, we'll probably be back to him anytime.
You better.
I've been doing this for quite a few years, and so is he. In fact, I remember him at Beaux Arts in Pinellas Park as this scrawny, tall guy over there with this brown, dirty leather jacket with tassels this long, you know. But I never wanted to talk to him back then. It took 3 husbands later, here he is. I didn't plan it. Okay. Are we all set? Can you hear me back there, or do you really care? I'm Betsy. Betsy Bolger, Paulet. And this is from a compilation of 3 books called Butterfly Lessons. It is available on Smashwords at a couple of the places like that, online. This is one of the first ones I wrote. I was, my husband died of Vietnam
Oh, I'm sorry.
problem, or no, Korean problem. This husband's a Vietnam vet. And he was very sick. And so when he died, I went on to college. I had already given up my job in the newspaper, and so I had to do something, and had a little government money saying I could do it. That's one of the first ones I wrote. I was living in Dunedin, Florida, hitchhiking to wherever we had to go. I had 3 young children. It was interesting days. To a straight Joe. Joe Riley, you say I am running, and maybe you are right. But I think it's just we see things through a very different light. You see, Joe Riley, I'd like to know. I want you to tell me why you think I'm running. Let me know what's in your head. You see, Joe Riley, I hate to admit this, but I'd forgotten about you. Been so long free in my world of timeless space and recaptured taste that I'd forgotten about you out there in that other world of existentialist, where nourishment for body or soul comes from paper bag or centerfold. Would you get? So I made coffee, and that's all. And when I let you take me home and told you of my plan for trucking out of here and getting back to the land, you called it running. So I made coffee and listened. I really tried to see it as you do, but it was entirely too restricting for my view. Your face, a clock, timing every word, move, dream. I do not call it living. That a city is moving like ants down there in the sand. Busy, busy, busy. Just working for the man. I want my future filled with open space where today makes more sense than retirement pay. I really am sorry, Joe Riley, and that your world has made you lonely. But my love is free when I decide, and today I'll just have to say thank you for the ride and wave as you continue on round that track you pace. You see, I think it was you who was running Algernon and Charlie's little race. This was influenced by reading, which you start doing when you go to college and for the first time, and you've got kids at home and all that. It was fun times. We talk a lot about a fellow named Jack Kelly out here, and pretty soon they'll be having a very special time for him. I've known Jack Kelly since the period of time which I was just talking about, when I learned about a little place in Pinellas Park, a tiny little town, if you're not familiar with it. And a nice old crazy gay guy named... Anyway, don't bother with the name, it's not important. But there were a lot of musicians through there, including my husband and Jack Kelly. Now, in those days, I was up on the stage sharing each poem as I wrote it pretty much, because going back to school I started letting myself write again. And I had my 3 girls there, and we were friends with a couple who had a couple of boys, and everybody was hippie then. When my husband died, I switched from a good little church-going mama to a gal that was trying to find out why in the hell life had been as crazy as it had been. And during that time, as I said, I met Jack. We all met Jack. And we've been friends through the years. I had some very raucous parties back in the 70s. Keep running into him at coffee houses and places like this. And we're missing him. We will miss him a lot. But one of the things that is really true, and you can see it in his words of his music, is he was a ladies' man. This was written as I was working on the side of the road with a strawberry stand to make some extra cash. And I started thinking about Jackson, who had been my friend and in and out of the house with one girl and another for many years. So it's Friends to Jack Kelly. She offers her pen point to the pesky love bug. So unceremoniously had he landed, and soundless upon the page, helpless upon his winged back, trapped between her lines of man, of woman, love, of hope. So she offers her pen point. Without hesitating, he climbs aboard, pausing not even long enough to utter thanks, as he wings away to join his mate among the flowers. But she does not mind his lack of gratitude. They were friends, and after all, the average lifespan of a love bug is 48 hours. We know Jack, but that I really can't say, because Jack is the one person who's prompting a song called You Don't Know Jack. Where did I put my marker? What can I say? One more and I will get out of here. A pair of poets. He sits at the computer writing a song. She, pen in hand, watches from the futon, waits for her turn to grab his wrist, send it sailing across the pad. He types a verse about a towhead boy and a banjo gal. She reads it over to his shoulder as he permits, finds herself sitting within a two-headed youngster and a tow-headed youngster in a velvet chair right there at Grand Opryland. And he says, he ain't a poet. She laughs. She pours her own feelings down upon the page. What was that word he was looking to rhyme? Stage? Rage? Is she feeling backstage for the god of verse, yet strangely loving it? Of course, she wished that they had come solely to be with her, but upon discerning that the night's just destined to be a date with the muse, she decided she really didn't care. No jealousy there. Any rendezvous with the muse is allowed in this boarding house. Good night, folks. See you again.
Oh, that was wonderful. Thank you.